Welcome to aminacademy.com. In NIOS 10th Standard Mathematics, let us discuss about irrational numbers. And irrational numbers are the real numbers that cannot be represented as a simple fraction. It can be expressed in the form of a ratio such as P over Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0. It is contradiction of rational numbers. That means any number whichever cannot be expressed as P over Q, that is numerator as and denominator, is called a irrational numbers. What is irrational numbers? For example, irrational numbers, any real number that cannot be expressed as the quotient of two integers. For example, there is no number among integers and fraction that equals the square root of 2. Look at here. For example, here square root of 2 cannot be expressed as P over Q, where P and Q are real numbers. That means this square root of 2, square root of 3, square root of 5, these numbers cannot be expressed as a quotient of two real numbers. Such numbers are irrational numbers. An irrational number is a real number that cannot be written as a simple fraction. Suppose 1.5. Here 1.5, which is equal 15 over 10. Further it is equal 3 over 2. Here this 1.5, that decimal number, can be expressed as a quotient of 3 and 2. So this 1.5 is not irrational. And look at that 5. 5 is such a number which equals 1.314 and continues. Even this pi value is not end with. That means as well as the pattern of the decimal numbers, that after decimal is not repeating as well as it's not ending. Such numbers are called irrational numbers. Now we can understand irrational numbers by using these examples and this explanation. Further, finding the irrational numbers between two rational numbers. That means any two irrational number, there is lot of irrational numbers. That means here that irrational numbers are continuous. That means it won't end. It is we can find a lot of irrational numbers. Look at here. For example, here root 2 is a irrational number and root 3 is an irrational number. Also look at here, root 2 plus root 3 by 2, also an irrational number. Even by 3, even by 4, any two rational numbers, addition of two rational numbers and divided by 2 is another irrational number. It is an irrational. Here is your irrational. Here this also irrational number. Suppose we will find two irrational number between 2 and 3. Find two irrational numbers between 2 and 3. Here you have, because 2 is a rational and 3 is a rational, but we can find an irrational number between these two rational numbers. Look at here, which is equal square root of 2 and 3, which is equal square root of 6. Approximately is equal to 2.45. Now this 2.45 is means 2.45 as continuous is between 2 and 3. Therefore here find not to your own irrational, find an irrational number between 2 and 3. Look at here, 2.45 dot 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 is of course lesser than 2 and greater than 2 and lesser than 3. Another one more example. Look at here. We have two numbers, root 3 and 2. We are getting a rational number between these two rational numbers, which is equal root 3, add them and divide by 2, which is equal root 3 by 2 plus 2 by 2, which is equal 1 plus root 3 by 2. So which is approximately equal 1 plus 1.732 over 2 is equal 1.866. So this 1.866 which is of course between root 3 and 2. Therefore the required number rational number between root 3 and 2 is 1.866. Like that we will get any irrational number between two irrational numbers. Here one irrational number and this irrational number, in between them is an irrational number. That is, we can find lot of irrational numbers are there. We found one here. Here find an irrational number between 2 and 3 means just square root and multiply them. It is square root of 6, which is approximately equal to 2.45, which is in between 2 and 3. Like that we explained about irrational numbers. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.